Bend area, and thrilled to have so many candidates with us tonight. You will be hearing both from at-large candidates, those are candidates running citywide, who will be on every ballot as people who are living within the South Bend School Board District, as well as district candidates who are running in a particular district, and so you'll pick your favorite at-large candidates as well as your favorite candidate for your district. If you're not sure who your candidates are, you can go to vote411.org and type in your address, and you will find that only those candidates who will be on your ballot will show up. And all of the candidates here have entered responses to a series of questions. And so if you don't hear an answer to a question that you were wondering about tonight, it may be that they have spoken about that issue at vote411.org. So we encourage you to check that out as well. Vote 411 is run by the League of Women Voters. All those answers are completely and totally unedited, so they appear as a candidate's intended. So just like with tonight, you get to hear not what somebody else says about a candidate, but the candidates sharing their own ideas in their own words, which is what we feel is so incredibly valuable about experiences like this. I want to very briefly explain what we'll be doing today and then get right to the candidates. We have a lot of candidates, and I'm sure we have a lot of questions. Each candidate is going to start very quickly by introducing themselves. We'll then have an opportunity for candidates to talk about their top priorities. We'll turn then to important questions that voters have about the school board. If you do have questions that you wish to submit, we will have students with vote t-shirts on either side of the auditorium. You can raise your hand and they will bring you a note card, and they will bring those up to me for possible inclusion in tonight's forum. We probably won't get to every single question, but we would like to get to as many of them as possible. We're going to go in the order you see, stage left to stage right, with our opening statements, and I'll let the candidates introduce themselves so I don't take any more of their time. So we start with the first question, which is, who are you? Why are you running for school board? And what qualifications do you bring to the job? This is 30 seconds because they will have an opportunity to talk about their priorities after this. We'll start with Katrina Baker.
Hello, my name is Katrina Baker. I am the founder of The Outlet, which is a nonprofit youth organization, and I'm also an advocate within our community with youth advocate program. My first priority for the corporation will be safety, of course, for our students, academics, and as well as supportive for the teachers as well.
Thank you. We'll hear next from Bill Snyder.
Can't hear.
Right.
Hello, my name is William Snedecke, better known as Bill. I was on the board for 12 years. My last year was 2016. And last 8 years since I've been off the board, I feel that the corporation has disintegrated, and it has to be something done now, or there won't be no South Bend schools. And that's the main reason I'm running.
Thank you. Those are our District 3 candidates. Now to District 4, Stephanie Ball.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Ball, and I'm the current 4th District representative on the Board of Trustees. I'm a lifelong resident of South Bend. I have students who have gone through the corporation, and my top priorities are increasing literacy rates, increasing our graduation rates, seeing that we're expanding our programs for students via a career and technical center, and really fighting for equitable resources and outcomes for all of our students. Again, my name is Stephanie Ball, and I'm running for the 4th District for school board.
Thank you. We go now to our next 4th District candidate, Carlos Eva.
Hello. My name is Carlos Leyva,
born and raised on the west side of South Bend. My top priority is community and civic engagement. I've experienced, as a AmeriCorps member at the Robinson Community Learning Center, bringing people together. I've experienced in the classroom teaching. I've experienced coaching. I've experienced mentoring kids. I've experienced bringing people together. And right now, we need to build bridges. Right now, we need to end division and come together and be an advocate for our community, teachers, students, and families. Thank you.
Thank you. Annette Malone.
Hey, I didn't prepare no big speech for you all, but I am Annette Malone, running for 4th District. I have been subbing in and out of the school system for 13 years. I run a small business, a beauty salon for 27 years. I'm very excited about running. This is my second time running for school board. The reason I am running, I am for the students. That's what I'm for. I'm for the students. I've been in and out of the classrooms. I see what they do with the phones. I see what they do with the airdrops. You will be very shocked at what your students are doing in the classroom with the phones. We love them though, and we want to see them succeed, but it's cheating them out of an education. So therefore, I'm running to engage the students, parents, and teachers, and thank you.
Thank you. All right. Our technicals are just right here in the front row. We'll go next to our at-large candidates, starting with Marcus Ellison.
Oh, yes. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out and also thank the American Democracy Project, the League of Women Voters, and those of you that are here supporting us tonight. My name is Marcus Ellison. I'm a lifelong resident of South Bend. I'm a graduate of John Adams. Both my parents and my daughter graduated from South Bend schools. I also graduated from Georgetown University and Notre Dame Law School. I've taught in higher education at Trine, Ivy Tech, and Michiana College. My top priorities are increasing compensation for teachers and other workers and continuing to increase our graduation rate and test scores. Thank you.
Gabe Kemp.
Good evening. I'm Gabriel Kemp, and I'm a lifelong resident of South Bend, Indiana. I'm seeking a position on the South Bend School Board of Trustees because it is time for a fresh perspective and committed leadership to steer our schools. As someone who's a recent product of South Bend schools, I understand the firsthand needs of our students and educators. So far, I've dedicated my entirety of my professional career to serving students in public education. I bring a passionate, community-based, focused approach ready to push for positive changes and ensure every student receives high-quality education.
Thank you. Lynn King Jr.
I am your next school board member. I'm Lynn King Jr. I'm here, born and raised here in South Bend. Lynn King Sr., my father, is my mother. I am a son of God. And here I'm running because our children deserve the best education that's possible. And so I'm here because of my leadership, my influence to make South Bend School Corporation the best top-tier education system possible.
Thank you. Jeanette McCall.
I'm going to follow the script, because the 10 seconds don't give me enough time to tell you my priorities. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Jeanette McCall. I'm an experienced educator and public servant with 16 years of experience as a teacher, counselor, and current member of the South Bend School Board and trustee. I'm running for re-election because I'm passionate about ensuring that every student in our district gets the education they deserve to succeed in life. My qualifications include a degree in early childhood education, organizational management, counseling and community services, and an administrative certificate. I also hold an educational specialist degree. I'm eager to continue making a positive difference in our school. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next question is 60 seconds, and this is, what are your top priorities if re-elected or elected to the board? And we'll start this time with Bill Schneidecke. Your top priorities.
Going that forever. Well, you know, the answers everybody gave there is the right answer. Kids are our main concern, but to get that, like I said in my opening speech, the last 8 years, Dr. Cummings has been bragging that he's the longest standing superintendent that ever in South Bend School Corporation. Well, he's also got the worst record. When I was on the board and the board prior to me, we never had kids, that percentage of kids that didn't know how to read in third grade. So my top priority is to replace the superintendent with a qualified superintendent that has the background behind it, and so my time's up, so I think I quit.
Thank you, Stephanie Ball.
Okay, so I will reiterate that my top priorities are really aligning with our strategic plan that we created in 2020. And to continue that work, that means to continue to increase our literacy rates. And a couple of things that we want to continue to do is to go student by student in our classrooms and work with our students on an individualized way so that we know where they are and know where they need to go. My priority is making sure the resources are used equitably and smartly. So resources include human resources, it includes our financial resources, it includes our buildings. And so there's been a lot of work that's been done to lay the groundwork for where we want to go. And my intention is to continue as the 4th district so that we can continue that work and continue to work with our building leaders. We are really looking to change fundamentally how our building leaders are leading in the building. And so that does mean making sure that our building leadership is able to be the educational leader in our buildings as well for K through 8. So really continuing that work that we've started on resources and academics in our school.
Carlos Leyva.
Thank you. Carlos Leyva, running the 4th district. I chose to run the 4th district up in the west side of my community. I reached out to families and teachers and they asked me to run. My top priority is community and civic engagement. We have amazing teachers. We have amazing principals. We have a diverse group of students. I love South Bend. I love our students. I love our families. But right now, we're losing families. We're losing amazing teachers. And the reason we're losing teachers is that there's a level of trust that's not there. And we're bringing those families back. I've knocked over 3,000 doors in every neighborhood. Schools anchor neighborhoods. Neighborhoods deserve a voice. The community deserves a voice when decisions are being made at South Bend schools. And I build bridges. In a time of division, I bring people together. I've been mentored, community engagement, working with civic leaders. That's my gift. Now I have a responsibility to this community to use my gifts to bring people together to make sure teachers are being advocated for, students and families have the best education. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette Malone.
Hello again. So, as I stated earlier, my top priority is to engage the teachers, parents, and students as a whole. Because what's happening is our students are falling through the cracks, not knowing how to read, not knowing how to do math. We have to focus on their learning styles. Everybody can't stand and listen to whomever is speaking, teaching, talking at them. You have to do visual, you have to do kinesthetic. There's different ways of learning. So with that being said, that is one of my top priorities. I know for District 4, I will be that best candidate to be able to work with the parents, teachers, and students. And let's not leave our bus drivers out. Our bus drivers are awesome. The bus system is doing much better than it was in prior years, so let's not leave them out. Let's continue to engage with our staff in the inside of the building too as well. That's subbing, leasing, if you will, that they're doing with the teachers, the custodians, that's good. We need to pull that back. Ty Cummings know what we're talking about.
Thank you.
And we need to pull him out of there because he has not been doing his job. Thank you.
Marcus Ellison.
Yes, my top priorities is I want to make sure that we continue to capitalize on the things that we're doing well in the past couple of years. We've seen success in raising the graduation rates and in doing better on iLearn, iRead, and some of those type of tests. We want to make sure we continue that momentum while also making sure that we're being responsible with the taxpayer dollars and fiscal responsibility. That will allow us to then move to my next priority, which is making sure that we attract and retain the best talent in order to have the best teachers, the best counselors, the best social workers, and other hourly employees within the school board. You have to do what you can to make sure you're managing money well so you can continue to increase their compensation and make sure they have the best support that they need in terms of training, in terms of resources, in terms of curriculum and things so that they can do the best at their job. I think by doing all of these things, we'll be able to continue to move forward in the areas that we're doing well at, and we'll also be able to address the areas that we need to show more growth and more improvement in.
Thank you. Gabrielle Kemp.
If elected to the school board, my top priorities will center around ensuring that students receive high-quality education while also addressing key challenges that affect their success across the district. These priorities include promoting fiscal transparency. I will push for clear, more transparent budgeting and financial reporting. Addressing teacher and employee morale. Low morale among our teachers and staff is a very pressing issue. I will advocate for initiatives and policies to improve working conditions and make South Bend schools a more attractive place to work again. Expanding community and scholar involvement involving all stakeholders is essential. I will push for a stronger connection between the community and the district. I also want to close the achievement gap. Our schools must provide all students, regardless of their background, with equal opportunities. I will prioritize strategies and curriculum aimed at addressing disparities in academic performance to create a more equitable learning environment.
Thank you. Lynn Kane, Tudor.
Top priorities are, number one, to increase our literacy rates, to empower our teachers, to create an atmosphere that's conducive to learning. Also, I want to increase our student enrollment, which will prevent an increase in your taxpayer dollars. Also, I want to create our community partnerships to ensure that our districts are empowered by community leaders. We have to use our already principals, teachers, retired principal teachers to make sure that our kids are testing, not just testing, but learning at their grade level. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reform our education system through those that are professionals, positive behavior education system to make sure that your kids are being educated properly, not just to the test, but that they're using their brains. And so I look forward to working with all of our leaders in South Bend.
Thank you. Jeanette McCullough.
Hi, my top priority would be to ensure that all students are reading at grade level. Reading proficiency is fundamental to all areas of learning, and I will work to make sure students get the help they need to reach this benchmark. This means providing teachers with the resources, training, and support they need to help students succeed academically. Whether though through the classroom materials or targeted interventions for students who are falling behind, I will ensure teachers are equipped with the drive to succeed. Another key priority is to making sure that all students, teachers, and staff have a safe learning environment. This includes not only physical safety measures, but also creating an emotional supportive environment where everyone can thrive. I will advocate for stronger safety protocols for more mental health resources to ensure our schools are safe and welcoming places for learning. These priorities reflect the specific needs of our district, where academic success and school safety are at the forefront of our community success and concerns. Also, strategic planning, recruiting students.
Thank you. All right, and go finally to Katrina Baker, District 3.
Thank you. Like I said previously, my main top priority is safety for our students. Without a safe environment, our students will not be able to learn adequately. Secondly, I will focus on the social emotional learning aspect of it, because if your child cannot if they cannot regulate their emotions, they cannot learn. And if I know firsthand, I've witnessed firsthand by being a substitute teacher, being a grassroots person, being there with your students, unfortunately they are not learning adequately due to the behaviors that 9 out of 10 are overall 80% of the classroom are struggling with behaviors in classroom management. Teacher support is needed. I'm also going to include the community in all aspects, bringing them back into the schools and not excluding you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. For our next question, we'll go first to Stephanie Ball. We have talked about this, but one of the voters would like to know, how will you specifically plan to address the issue of Senate Bill 1, the retention of third graders, with a large numbers being held back? What is your proactive plan to make a difference and get these students at proficiency levels?
So I think the proactive plan really is to allow the work that we already have started, which is through the additional dollars through the referendum, which I know sometimes you just hear referendum, but it is a good thing because it's bringing additional dollars into our corporation. But we have promised to use those dollars to bring in more literacy specialists, more counselors, more social workers, more support staff, okay? That money is also being used to increase wages for our employees. So being able to get the resources to the staff is very paramount. So literacy, the approach we're taking is going one by one and working with groups of students to understand where they are in their literacy journey. So for example, if I'm a student and I'm in the third grade and my reading level is on a first grade level, we're looking at what can we do individually with that student to help them get the tools and resources they need so we can close that gap and get them to the third grade reading level. So it's individual work, one by one.
Thank you. Carlos Leyva.
Thank you. I'm glad you asked this question. So I work in higher ed, Holy Cross College. I recruit teachers. I'm involved in literacy. So organizations like Lily have given us lots of money to help advance reading skills. So we need to identify which students are struggling. They can start as early as 6, 7 years old before you get to the third grade. Give them special programs. We live in, this is 2024, we need innovative help, innovative ways to reach these students. I can work with literacy specialists. I was called a TWR guru. I love writing, love reading. Get students in these programs to develop these reading and writing skills. Get the community involved. So that's one of my priorities, community. There's IUSB, Holy Cross College, Notre Dame. Get them the help in after-school programs. And advocate for science and reading with innovative ways to get to these kids. And yes, some are struggling, but we can come together. That's why I want to come together and help. Pull our resources together to help these kids succeed. Thank you.
Thank you. Annette Malone.
Let me do it again. Our students, as far as getting them where they need to be, don't take this, what I'm saying, real harsh, I'm gonna say it anyway. We have to start at home. Because what it is, it's a plan and it's an organizational plan. Just like they got a curriculum set from 1 through 12, you're gonna do this before you do that. You're gonna do this before you do that. And they have that set for 12 years. So with that being said, we need to start at home. So once the teacher is engaging with the parent or parents and the students, here is where your student stands for now. That plan should look really good by the time they get out of grade school, and they will be continued on with the next plan, meeting parents where they're at, because they may not know. Their grading level might be at a certain point too, so you have to bring them up to speed at the same time as a child. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. That's just what it is. Thank you.
Thank you, District 4 candidates. We turn now to our at-large candidates, starting with Marcus Ellison.
I believe in order to address the idea that Indiana, if you're going to talk about holding back kids in third grade, is you need to address that as early as possible. We need to continue to expand our pre-K offerings to get more students going to school. Indiana doesn't require children to actually go to school until the first grade. So we're having kids coming in the first grade that are already behind, maybe haven't started to learn to read at all. We need to encourage parents to put their children into our pre-K programs so we can start attacking that, having them learn phonics and the things that they need to know to read before they even come to kindergarten. And then we need to continue to do that throughout the early grades so that hopefully by the time you get to third grade, you've got everybody caught up. And if not, you probably need to make that assessment earlier. You don't want to see anybody have to be held back, but it probably makes more sense for a child to be held back in kindergarten. A lot of kindergarten won't even know they're repeating kindergarten, if that's what they're doing, but they're going to know if they're repeating the third grade. So let's get on top of it early, address it early, and solve the problem early up front. Thank you.
Gabrielle Kemp.
first and foremost would like to commend the district on the IRE rates that were raised from 2023 to 2024. However, there is still a clear indicator with almost 40% of our students that will be on track to be retained this upcoming school year. That is a clear indicator that there is a lot more work to be done. What we need to come up with is a comprehensive strategy that targets several key areas for the district, for our kids. And those are early interventions in kindergarten before they even reach the 3rd grade, additional literacy specialists for the district, additional tutoring opportunities in our elementary schools, small group instruction, literacy instruction techniques such as phonics-based programs, and individual tailored programs to meet the individual needs of the students.
Thank you. Lynn Cameron.
I agree with Marcus Ellison that we have to take a proactive approach with early literacy as far as pre-K, maybe even infusing daycare with a certain curriculum to begin to target their education even early. Also, we have this kid in emergency right now, current 3rd grade, that we must take a proactive approach to right now, mandating, even if we have to use after-school programs, Saturday school, maybe even Sunday, to make sure that those kids do not fall behind. We have to do away with the school to prison pipeline and give them the school to life. We're going to use our professional educators to make sure that that happens. And so we're going to take a community, all hands on deck effort to make sure that the 3rd graders right now, 2nd graders, do not fall behind, are not just on the way. And so we do that because we already have literacy programs. We already have programs in place to attack this issue at hand.
Thank you. Jeanette McCullough.
Hi. It has to be data-driven instruction. And you have to identify the gaps in student learning, and you have to personalize those instructions. Boost attendance, making sure that students attend school 94% of the time, and give them as often incentives to get them there if that's possible. Also, community and family engagement, build strong relationships with families, particularly in Black communities, Hispanic communities. Those are the graphics that are falling farther behind. And so you have to build those relationships. Kindergarten readiness. Early literacy has to start with focus on the pre-K. Kindergarten programs that build early literacy skills, provide resources and training for those students to support early reading. Target early interventions, small group instruction, culturally responsive teaching, teacher support. You cannot move the corporation forward, people, without teachers. So you have to make sure you have that support for those teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. We turn now to the District 3 candidates. Same question. How do we get those reading scores and proficiencies up? Katrina Baker. You're at.
Ladies first.
So yeah, again, please excuse me, I'm lost my voice. But number one thing is you have to make the curriculum relatable for our youth. 9 times out of 10, our youth are lacking in reading because they cannot engage overall. They don't understand the material, or it's just not relative to them. Secondly, small groups are key. Parent involvement is key. Classroom management is key. We need additional teacher aides. We need the community to, we really do need you all to come back into these classrooms. Please, I'm asking you to do your background checks. Come on in so our kids can, first and foremost, get to know you and build that rapport with our children. So therefore, they'll be open enough to be able to say, hey, I don't understand when I'm reading. Can you help me with that? That is number one. Secondly, we need to support our teachers. I don't know when's the last time you all have been in the classroom, but 9 out of 10, our teachers are coming out of their pockets to be able to buy books and materials for our children to be able to read. Secondly, we can also incorporate our older population to have them come in and use it as an incentive to teach our younger students.
Thank you. Bill Schneidecke.
Just to me, kind of relates to my first priority is about replacing the superintendent. Superintendent is supposed to be a specialist in education. We never had, when I was on the board, we never had third graders that could read. It was brought to the board. So I think top priority and raising taxes is not the answer. Now that the school raised taxes, now the city's raising taxes. The bottom line is the superintendent, we need to, and I want to get the community involved, the teachers involved in the hiring of a new superintendent that is proven to raise them test scores. And so we have the money for the teachers to, instead of substitutes that don't have a license, I want to licensed teachers in the classrooms.
Thank you. All right, our next question. We have a few note cards about this, so I will combine a couple of them that are related. Would you agree to take no money from the corporation for your personal business interests if you or your spouse have a contract with or employed by the corporation? Well, is it a conflict of interest to be on the board? If so, will you resign or recuse yourself from votes involving your business interests? Carlos Leva.
Okay. I do not have a spouse, family member, close friends with how that works for a corporation. I know it's a corporation. I have no conflict of interest. I don't believe in gaining money from a position of power. Actually, I don't believe board members and workers should get paid. This should be volunteer. Community wants people here who are invested. So, again, I have no conflict of interest, and I don't agree with pocketing or benefiting from being on the school board. This is a public servant position. We're here to serve. I'm here to serve, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to serve the community with integrity, honesty, in heart, compassion, and understanding. For all. Thank you.
Annette Malone.
Listen, that's a 10 question. I'm gonna tell you something. If anybody doing a job out there that's gonna make our schools better, they're gonna be reading, writing, and getting where they need to be, and you're consulting, and you have somebody else in your consulting in your family that wanna consult, and y'all get that job done, we need to pay y'all $10 million, and you can get that whole job done within this district, okay? Because, see, they not stealing, somebody's approving something, okay? So, that's all I really can say about that, because somebody gave a 10 question in one, and that's kind of personal, but you gotta understand, somebody approved that money.
Marcus Ellison.
I don't have any personal business interest or contact with the school corporation, and then I think as a board member, if there's something comes up involving someone you're related to or someone, it could be your pastor, it could be your best friend, you perhaps just should recuse yourself from that particular vote, if you are too close to that individual, but otherwise, 99% of the time, you're going to be able to vote on the business. And, in a city the size of South Bend, this isn't Chicago, it's not New York, you're going to have people that are involved in the schools and that have family members and somebody I know, my next door neighbor, they're going to be, work at schools, work for Notre Dame, do this, do that. So you're going to have some of that. But you just don't vote as appropriate on that particular item. But for most people, you're going to be able to vote for almost everything all the time. And I think that would sufficiently answer or resolve any type of potential conflict of interest situation that could arise.
Thank you. Gabrielle Kent.
Could you repeat the entirety of the question?
Yes. So, would you agree to take no money from the corporation for your personal business interests if you or your spouse have a contract with or are employed by the corporation? To avoid having a conflict of interest, will you give up the contract or employment or resign from the board? Or will you at least recuse yourself from any vote related to your business interests?
Okay. First and foremost, state law. If you are a school board member and have a conflict of interest, you sign a form upon taking your tenure into office of those conflicts. Now, piggyback off Mr. Ellison, this is a small community. it's a big community, but it's also a small community. You're gonna have neighbors, friends, family members, people you walk past in the community that serve in many different capacities within the city. I will say that, yes, I will acknowledge I do have a conflict, but my conflict is serving children. And I've been serving children and providing them an array of opportunities and being a mentor to children since 2019. We need more people in the community to stand up and serve children, whether it's in a paid position, volunteer, or whatever capacity you would like to serve in. However, we need more mentors for our children to pour into them.
Thank you. Lynn King Jr.
Yes, I will accuse myself of any contract pertaining to myself. I am a business owner right here in South Bend, Indiana. I'm an asset to South Bend, my wife and I. We have served this community in many forms with our lives. We sacrifice our children, their time, putting our effort into your children. And because God has been so good to me and my children.
Yes.
My oldest daughter graduated from Washington High School top 20. She's now graduated from Purdue. My second daughter graduated from Bloomington, graduated from Washington top 10. I have a son graduated from Adams 3.4 GPA down at Franklin University. Because God has been so good to us, I said, Lord, I will spend the rest of my days giving back to the rest of the children that may be less fortunate.
Jeanette McCullough.
Let me be clear. I don't have an interest in taking tax dollars for any businesses or anything. I don't have an MOU. I don't have a contract. I don't run a business out of this corporation.